It. All right. So I promise I'm not going to make you guys as seasick as I did the other day. I'm going to try not to anyway. Wait. Let's see. I'm on location, as you can see. So getting my angles and everything right is tough. All right. Let's see. Let's see if that's going to work and hold. I've got you propped up on suitcases and all kinds of stuff. But we are here, and I wanted to talk to you about a narcissist prayer. Greetings for those of you that are new here. My name is Winette, and I am a professional intuitive empath. And tonight, before I go to bed and take off makeup and lashes, Lord Jesus, these lashes, before I decompress and scrub and de-oil and all the things, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about was the prayer of a narcissist. It came up. My angels have a way of giving me messages, and when they do, I always want to pass them along to you. So this is a narcissist prayer. I've talked about this before on this channel, but I think that it's important sometimes to recap some of the oldies but goodies. And if you pop in here, please say hello. I would love to say hi to anybody that's showing up. For those who do not know the narcissist prayer, here it goes. A narcissist prayer. That didn't happen. And if I did it, it wasn't that bad. Hey, Mason. Hello. Oh, thank you so much. Welcome, fam. I don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome to the family. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the tribe. Okay, so a narcissist prayer, that didn't happen. And if I did it, it wasn't that bad. And if it was, that's not a big deal. And if it is, that's not my fault. And if it was, I didn't mean it. And if I did, you deserved it. This is the infuriation of having any kind of communication with a narcissist. They will gaslight you forever. They will gaslight you to infinity and beyond. And they will make it seem like it is 1000% your fault. You guys that are new to the channel don't know my full story. There are tons of videos here. You can check it out. But one of the things that was the absurd breaking point for me was what is called narcissistic amnesia, which is when they do terrible things or they do boundary crossing things. It may not even be terrible. It could be simple and benign, but they do it and then they completely deny that they did it. They're like, nope, that never happened. I never did it. Nope, nope, nope. It's like the craziest thing. And the narc that I dealt with used to try to sleep with me only when, conveniently she was drunk, and then pretend as though she never had done that. It was my best friend at the time. And allegedly, y'all, it's hilarious the monikers we give these crazy people. But she's a sociopath, because who could do that? For years, because we're such sweet empaths, I found myself trying to rationalize her drunken attempts. And it wasn't because she was so attracted to me. She did that with everybody, meaning, if anybody were to examine her life, or if anybody's ever had more than half of a sip, if anybody's ever seen her brush her teeth in the morning and sip out of the mouthwash bottle, then you too could get hit on. It wasn't like I was so special, y'all, okay? But that is definitely part of the narcissist love bombing. Like, no, this is just a special thing with me and you. Meanwhile, they have several families, multiple children across the world, a hot damn mess. But what I will tell you is that I started to compensate for her craziness. I started to be like, you know what? Maybe she didn't remember, or maybe she didn't realize. And it was the weirdest, ridiculous thing. And the last time when I knew, like, I was like, oh my gosh, she's a whole crazy. So, like, I told you guys, I felt like I was in a horror movie. The last time that happened, I remember her. It was so funny. She went from immediate denial, I've never done that, to it didn't happen that much. Meaning, like, she was saying that I was exaggerating that this had happened ever, that it didn't happen almost every single time we were together. And so it was literally this prayer. That didn't happen. That's exactly what she said to me. I will never forget it. We're sitting in the van on a drizzly, rainy evening by a graveyard, because hashtag my life. And she was like, that didn't ever happen. And then when I reiterated it, I was like, are you kidding me? This shit's been happening for years. What are you talking about? She was like, it wasn't that bad. She literally was like, it wasn't even that much. And you know why that happened, the denial of it? Because her ego was engaged. I will check out your message in just a second. So nice to see you. I think it's Kaylee. So her ego was engaged, right, guys? So what happened is she couldn't stand the idea, even in herself, that she had hit on me multiple times, that I had rejected her multiple times. That's what the real issue and the real tea was. And in her deepest embarrassment, she was ashamed because she knew. And that's all narcissists are fueled on, is shame. She knew that if anybody else knew that it happened, that she would be judged. And that's because aesthetically, maybe me, well, there's a million reasons why she would be judged, the South, being in a closet, etc., etc. But beyond that, even if all those things were out in the open, she was concerned that people would judge her because of her choice of attraction. Now let's clarify this. What do we know about narcissists? Especially with low vibrations, especially with addictions, sex addictions, they all have them. They're all lying. They're always bringing you supplies. They're sleeping with everybody all over the state, and beyond, y'all, and beyond. Hoes in different area codes is their favorite thing. Ludacris did them. That's like their mantra. That's like their field fight song. Hoes in different area codes. The thing about that is, guys, I lost my train of thought, but it's that when they are denying that this has happened and they are acting like it couldn't happen. It's, again, I have to say this, it wasn't about me being so special or that she was so deeply attracted to me. No, sex is a tool that narcissists use, just to digress here, to keep you entrenched. And also, even if you're not a narcissist, sex is a very powerful magical tool, meaning it is alchemy, meaning it is spell work, meaning it is combustion. That's the reason why, no puns intended, dirty brains. It is after midnight, but that's the reason that for the narcissist, they're like, oh, this is perfect, because they get to bond themselves to you. Anyway, I digress from that, but it just blew my mind. And it made me think of that when I saw the Narcissist Prayer today. I was like, oh, that's precisely, and it wasn't today, I've seen this for a while, but it's precisely what happened in my situation. I'm going to read your story here in a minute. Anybody else, if you chime in, please hop on. I'm going to be doing a few lives tonight. I've got some energy and I've got some topics, so we're going to get it done. But I just felt like that was something that we needed to talk about. If you don't know the Narcissist Prayer, I'll repeat it one more time. That didn't happen, and if I did it, it wasn't that bad, and if it was, that's not a big deal, and if it is, that's not my fault. It reminds me of Urkel, it ain't my fault, but that's a different song. And if it was, I didn't mean it, and if I did, you deserved it. Now, I don't think that you deserved it would be applicable to my situation, but all the rest of the denials happened in various ways because she couldn't fathom that that was who she really is. Our shadow side, our sexual side, is nothing to be ashamed of. But because she hadn't integrated and because she was fractured and fragmented, that was what she tried to foist upon me, which was crazy making. And by the end of it, I was getting healthy and having therapy and all this stuff. So it was so funny because I just remembered listening to her and I was like, girl, big. And the funny part is, it's not like it was like some magical thing. Again, just me and her. Anybody that she had a drink around, she was inappropriate while this Taliban was. If any one of her friends or family members watch this video, as much as they could be like, we hate this bitch, because flying monkeys exist and enablers exist, they know for a fact that she's tried them. The second the liquor hit her lips, she had zero boundaries. It didn't matter. I'll leave that there. Read the book if you want to see how salacious it gets, because I do detail it because I think it's important to know how cravenous your narcs really can be. But yeah, it wasn't about me, and that was the magic that released me. I was listening to her and I was like, anytime liquor's in your body, you in love it. You in love. It wasn't about any special love or connection with us whatsoever. It was about accessing me to validate her. Do you understand? So when I did not validate her, then we got into this whole big weird drama because she needed to win at all costs. That's another thing that narcs love to do. Don't let them gaslight you with this bullshit. This is literally how they live their life. Instead of God grant me serenity, it's like, Satan, help me to gaslight, lie, manipulate, be a whole ass sociopath. Oh, just 3 more minutes because it's delicious and fun. Funsies. So, guys, that's what you need to know. Anyway, come back and join me. Oh, wait, before we go, let's see if I can pull this up. So Kaylee Salaski says, just bought my narc mom to church today and had a long talk with her about my childhood trauma. She justified more than validated. God is working, though. It ends here. Amen. And she's got up 2 crosses. You guys may be able to see that in the playback, but I don't see it when I pull it up on from my creator site on YouTube. What I will say here about that is I am proud of you for even attempting. There are some fantastic therapists here. I'm going to look them up and make a video just about my favorite therapist on YouTube. I suggest going to a real therapist, okay? But I think that in the interim, if you don't have it or you can't afford it, you can't do it, or it's just not feasible for your life, getting to one of these YouTube therapists that are actually doctors, not just people like me, okay? Because I am not a therapist for narcissists. I'm a person who has had narcissistic abuse, and often we do create channels to talk about it because it's a way for us to transmute it and also to honor our vibration as earth angels to teach about it. But get into that. With your mom, you may not ever sway her or get her to change because she is a narcissist and they don't change. And that's the thing I don't want you to get in that loop. Yes, therapy, she is guiding me through this. Thank you and bless you. Oh, bless you, bless you. With the narc mom, you take your time because that damage is quite pervasive. I have a favorite therapist. He's super calming. He reminds me of like the stereotypical therapist here. I cannot think of his name, but I will definitely mention it in my next live for you. So if you're still here in a few minutes, I'll be back. But what they're saying here for you, and when that they being your angels, is to understand who the narcissist is, and that's not someone that can change. Of course, she validated what she did to you because she can't fathom and she can't live in the shame of having failed you in the many ways that she clearly did, you know? So anyway, that's just a little aside there. Okay. Jerry Wise, Betty Freddy. Who is Jerry Wise? What does that mean? Jay Reed and Dr. Romney are my two faves. Yes, I love Dr. Romney. Dr. Romney is for people that are professorial or scholarly for sure. She's not over the top. Professor Sam Venkin is like extreme. He's one of my faves. Oh, Jerry Reed is a therapist. I'll have to check them out. Thank you, Betty Freddy. Thank you for the recommendation. Dr. Romney is fantastic. I love, God, I wish I knew the therapist's name. There's another one, Ross. I think his name is Ross Rosenberg. Ross Rosenberg. There are a couple other doctors here that are legitimate, like doctors that specialize in narcissistic abuse and therapy. There are some channels that I really like. God, I keep forgetting. I know his name is Jesse. He's very fatherly. I related to him initially because he helped heal my father wound. There was a loving, kind energy from him that he emitted. And then the other one is narcology. Narcology is when you're right in the beginning. I think narcology is really good for that. When you are like in the addiction still with the narcissist, because you know, guys, we've all been addicted to our narcs and into the trauma bond. That's what we were addicted to. They weren't magical. They didn't exist. They were an illusion. They were a sociopath. But we all have been in that trauma bonded state. When you're in that, I call it emotional masturbation, where all you can do is think about it, talk about it, and process it, and you're not living your life or dating other people or having other friendships, or you know, when you're in that like hermited crazy space when you first disconnect. Narcology is fantastic for that because you can play those videos back to back, and I did for about 2 weeks, and you just get all these downloads, and you're like, yeah, and it confirms what you already knew. And what he does, because anybody that is gifted to speak to you guys is here channeling information that they process through their pain. He transmuted it, so he'll bring up stuff that you never put words to, but you experience. Just like Sandy's first comment regarding, yes, I relate. My narcissist mother just tried to validate all the bullshit she did to me, right? So that's one of the things that you need to know, is that sometimes listening to the people that are not doctors on YouTube, that are just people and practitioners that have had their own experiences, is incredibly helpful because it helps to like scrub your brain and helps to strip away the fact that maybe you have forgotten how bad the abuse was or how deleterious it was to your mental health. A narcissist will make you crazy, and it's crazy making gaslighting. So don't be in that. Start watching some of these videos. If you're in the new part, if you just discarded an arc or you're really trying to set boundaries, those channels are so helpful, but they also can become toxic if you stay there. I do think the evolution is important. That's why the doctors are recommended, and therapists, and actual therapy and actual journaling and actual transmuting, because if you stay there, I don't want you watching these videos for 5 years. You shouldn't be, because like a wound is not open on your body for years and years. I just recently had a major emergency surgery, and your body heals itself rather quickly and pretty miraculously, right? And the thing about it is you aren't just a gaping open wound forever and ever. That is not how we were created. That is not what is intended. And the same goes, as above, so below, as in the 5D, so in the 3D. We are not created to be these gaping wounds walking around forever, just like, I'm a big narcissist bleeding, nerve ending. No, that's not exactly at all what was supposed to happen. We are supposed channels to heal. In the beginning, when you are the gaping wound, those channels are fantastic for that. As you heal, you should be stepping away from that, okay? But I am not going to judge you in your process, nor am I going to hurry hence you along, nor am I going to tell you to suppress yourself, nor am I going to tell you that you're not feeling what you feel. The narcissist prayer makes you feel all of those things. And it means if they have that many lines in their prayer, then that will be that many steps that you have to heal from, because that has been that many times that you were devalued, defiled, defaced, and discarded. Amen. All right, guys. So good to share that energy with you. Come back and join me in just a few minutes, and we will continue to evolve together.